Hogen, a Zen master, lived alone in a small temple in the countryside. He was known for his great wisdom and compassion, and many people came to seek his guidance. One day, he received a visit from a young monk named Koji, who had traveled a long way to meet him. Koji was eager to learn from Hogen, as he had heard many stories about his enlightenment and miracles. He hoped that Hogen would accept him as his disciple and teach him the way of Zen. He knocked on the door of the temple and waited. Hogen opened the door and saw Koji standing outside. He greeted him warmly and invited him in. He offered him some tea and asked him about his journey. Koji thanked him for his hospitality and told him that he had come from a faraway monastery where he had studied the scriptures and practiced meditation for several years. He said that he had a strong desire to attain enlightenment and to serve all beings. Hogen listened to him attentively and nodded. He said, "I see. You have a sincere aspiration and a diligent spirit. But tell me, what is Zen?" Koji was surprised by the question. He thought that Hogen would know the answer better than anyone. He tried to recall what he had learned from his teachers and books. He said, "Zen is the direct realization of one's true nature, beyond words and concepts. Zen is the practice of mindfulness and awareness in every moment and in every action. Zen is the expression of compassion and wisdom for oneself and for others." Hogen smiled and said, "That is a good answer, but it is only a description, not an experience. Zen is not something that can be explained or understood by the mind. Zen is something that can only be shown and lived by the heart. Do you want to see Zen?" Koji was excited and curious. He said, "Yes, Master, I do. Please show me Zen." Hogen said, "Very well, but first you must pass a simple test. Go outside and bring me a stone that is large enough to make a pillow." Koji bowed and went outside. He thought that the test was easy and strange. He wondered what a stone had to do with Zen. He searched for a suitable stone and soon found one that was about the size of his head. He carried it back to Hogen and presented it to him. Hogen took the stone and weighed it in his hand. He shook his head and said, "This stone is too small. It will not make a good pillow. Go and find a bigger one." Koji bowed again and went outside. He thought that Hogen was being picky and unreasonable. He wondered why he needed a bigger stone. He searched for a bigger stone, and after a while he found one that was about the size of his chest. He lifted it with difficulty and brought it back to Hogen. Hogen took the stone and placed it on the floor. He frowned and said, "This stone is too big. It will not make a comfortable pillow. Go and find a smaller one." Koji bowed once more and went outside. He thought that Hogen was being contradictory and illogical. He wondered how he could find a smaller stone that was bigger than the first one. He searched for a smaller stone, and soon he found one that was about the size of his fist. He carried it back to Hogen and offered it to him. Hogen took the stone and rubbed it on his cheek. He grimaced and said, "This stone is too coarse. It will not make a soft pillow. Go and find a smoother one." Koji was getting annoyed. He had spent a lot of time and energy looking for stones, and none of them satisfied Hogen. He thought, "This is ridiculous. How can a stone be a pillow? What does this have to do with Zen?" He went outside again, but this time he did not bother to look for a stone. He picked up the first one he saw, which was rough and jagged, and threw it at Hogen. Hogen saw the stone flying towards him and quickly ducked. The stone missed him and hit the wall behind him. Hogen smiled and said, "Here, this is the stone mind." Koji was stunned. He realized that Hogen was not testing his ability to find a stone, but his ability to adapt to any situation. He understood that he had been attached to his own ideas and expectations, and that he had let his anger and frustration cloud his judgment. He saw that Hogen had shown him the true way of Zen, which is to be flexible and responsive to the present moment, without clinging or resisting. He bowed deeply and said, "Master, I am sorry for my foolishness. Please forgive me and teach me more." Hogen nodded and said, "You've passed the test. Now let us go inside and have some tea." This story teaches us about Zen, showing that it's more about living in the moment than finding exact answers. It's about staying calm in tough times instead of trying to avoid them. Zen isn't about having a fixed mindset, but being flexible. It also tells us that Zen isn't something we can just learn in our heads. It's something we need to feel and live with our hearts. Words can't fully explain Zen. It's something we experience through our actions and feelings. It's not something a stone can show. It's something we live through our whole selves.